Welcome back to Gleeman's Lullaby. We are diving right back into the Great Hunt, and this is it. This is episode 9. 5 will ride forth. We are focusing completely on chapters 44, 45, and 46, where the pace just, it goes from 0 to 100.
It's an absolute pressure cooker.
Yeah.
This is the point in the novel where Robert Jordan just takes all of these different threads he's been weaving.
Yeah.
You know, the hunt for the Horn, the Seanchan invasion, the personal journeys of all these kids from the Two Rivers, and he just slams them all together in Falme.
It's a perfect knot, like you said, and it feels like the only way to get through it is with a sword.
Exactly. The hunt is over. The battle is about to begin.
And that's really our mission for this deep dive, right? We're going to look at how deception and, frankly, sacrifice become the only tools left, because you have these two huge high-stakes missions happening at the same time.
You do. On one hand, you have Nynaeve and Elayne, and they're attempting what seems absolutely impossible.
The Lord's straight-up rescue mission.
A rescue of Egwene from the very heart of the Seanchan power structure. It's a high-wire act with no safety net.
And then, on the other side, you've got Rand, Mat, and Perrin with the Shinnarans.
Right, and their goal is completely different. They need to get two things. The Horn of Valere, which is this legendary world-changing artifact.
And the dagger.
And the dagger. That cursed, ruby-hilted dagger that Mat Cauthon absolutely needs to survive. It's life or death for him, personally.
So we're going to track how both of these groups, the women who are the strategists and the men who are more the soldiers, they're both forced to use the tools of the very enemy they're fighting, and it changes them.
It fundamentally changes them. So, yeah, get ready. The stakes don't get any higher than this.
Okay, so before we jump into the absolute chaos of the plans, we have to ground ourselves in why this is all happening, and that's Egwene. Her situation isn't just a plot device. It feels like a direct challenge to the whole idea of freedom in this world.
It is. It's the most brutal, tangible consequence of the Seanchan invasion we've seen. She is now officially a Damane.
Which means she's wearing the A'dam.
She is collared.
Yeah.
That silver leash and bracelet combination that, doesn't just control a channeler's power. It's designed to strip them of their autonomy, their will, their entire sense of self.
The books make it sound like this systematic psychological breaking process.
It is. It's horrific. They want her to forget who she is, forget her name, forget her past, and just become a docile weapon for the Empire.
And the timing is just so cruel. She was just starting to figure out her own power, gaining confidence, seeing herself as a channeler, and then poof, it's ripped away and turned against her.
It's a complete inversion of her entire journey so far. And of course, that torment is what's fueling the other side of this. It's what drives Nynaeve and Elayne.
That bond they have with her is so intense.
It's almost like a sisterhood. And you combine that with their own fierce personalities, their, inherent hatred of oppression.
Yeah.
And they're just operating in the shadows of this occupied city.
They are so vulnerable. It's staggering when you think about it. Every single person they see could be the one who discovers them.
And if they're discovered, they're seen as one of two things: a potential slave, another Damane to be collared, or a dangerous criminal to be put down.
So they're running on nothing but loyalty and wits, really.
Pure wits and luck.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, the total opposite of the men's mission. They're not hiding, they're hunting.
Right. Rand, Mat, Perrin, and what's left of the Shinnarans, they have chased Padan Fain across half the world to get to this city.
And their mission is all about two physical objects.
First, you have the Horn of Valere, the big one, tied to the Dragon Reborn, calls heroes back from the dead. It's a cosmic, world-saving objective.
And then you have the dagger from Shader Logoth. And that one is intensely personal.
Because Mat is dying?
He's literally dying. The corruption from that thing is eating him alive from the inside out. And the dagger is the only thing that can lead to a cure. So without it, maybe the world is saved, but their friend dies this slow, agonizing death.
So you've got this grand, epic quest tangled up with this desperate personal fight for one kid's life.
Exactly. So you have the victim, Egwene, the rescuers, Nynaeve and Elayne, and the hunters, Rand and his group. And all three of these threads are about to crash into each other in a city run by this brutal alien power. It's explosive.
Okay, let's start with the rescue plan then. Chapter 44, it really kicks off with Min, and she's in a state of pure despair.
Utter helplessness. She's close enough to where they're keeping the Damane that she can actually hear Egwene's suffering.
The source material mentions piercing screams. That's chilling.
It's psychological warfare. To know your friend is being mentally broken down piece by piece and to be completely powerless to stop it. It's devastating. The text even says Min is just crying, wandering the streets, trying to get away from the sound.
But that despair just flips on a dime. She literally runs into Nynaeve and Elayne.
And that's the moment. The emotional connection between them suddenly becomes a tactical opportunity. Her despair turns into, as the text says, a budding hope.
But more than that, she has the one piece of information they need. The key intelligence that turns this from a suicide mission into, well, a slightly less suicidal, targeted mission.
The critical revelation.
Yeah.
Egwene is being specially targeted, and it's because she has this unique ability. She can find ore in the ground.
Which for a massive empire like the Seanchan with huge armies and fleets.
It's an invaluable military asset, a strategic resource. Egwene isn't just another captured channeler to them. She's a future tool for their war machine.
And that just cranks up the urgency to 11, right? Because they're not just going to keep her locked up, they're going to use her.
They're going to deploy her. If Nynaeve and Elayne don't act now, she's gone. Transported across the ocean back to the Seanchan homeland, and then she's lost forever.
So Min says they need a ship, and she points them to Captain Bail Damane. He's their only shot at an exit strategy.
And this time pressure, this ticking clock, it forces a huge change in Nynaeve.
Oh.
We know Nynaeve's default setting, right? It's yell first, ask questions later. She usually just tries to muscle her way through problems with temper and raw power.
But she can't do that here.
She can't. She's up against this rigid, hierarchical system of control. Brute force is useless.
So she has that amazing moment of realization, that line that just defines her whole arc in this book. It isn't swords or brawn we need now, but brains.
That's a massive character transformation happening right there on the page. She immediately switches gears into strategic, intellectual defiance. It's not about breaking the system anymore, it's about manipulating its own rules against it.
And her first test of that new strategy is convincing Captain Damane to help them.
A man who is, understandably, terrified of the Seanchan.
He's a pragmatic trader, he's heard the stories, he knows they execute people for looking at them the wrong way.
And Nynaeve has to convince him to basically commit high treason against this occupying force.
So she can't just appeal to his sense of right and wrong, she has to be smarter than that.
She has to appeal to his fear of a higher authority, which is why she shows him the Serpent Ring.
The symbol of the Ain Sedai, a calculated power play.
It's a brilliant move. The ring represents an institution that could, potentially, stand up to the Seanchan, or at least offer protection after the fact. She's not saying, help us because it's right. She's saying, we have power that you recognize and fear. Ally with us.
She even tells him they're willing to confront the Damane just to show him they're not helpless.
Exactly. To assure him that if he takes this massive risk, he's not going to be left holding the bag alone.
And it works. Damane agrees. He shifts from self-preservation to active resistance, and just like that, the window of opportunity is closing, and they have to get Egwene out now.
Which leads us directly into the craziest part of their plan, the infiltration. Nynaeve understands that to get inside the Damane kennels, they literally have to become the enemy.
They have to wear the uniforms.
They have to adopt the identities of the oppressors.
And this is one of the most unsettling moments in the whole series for me. They overpower a Sul'dam, this woman Seda, and her Damane.
And getting the clothes is one thing, but what they have to do next, the role play is just devastating.
Nynaeve puts on Seda's lightning mark dress. She becomes the Sul'dam, but the truly chilling part is the silver collar, the atom.
Which she places on Elayne.
On Elayne, her friend, and accepted, the daughter heir of Andor, Elayne voluntarily puts on the collar and becomes a slave.
We have to stop and appreciate the psychological cost of that. For someone like Elayne, who is so defined by her status, her pride, her power, to wear that collar even for a short time is part of a plan. That's a monumental sacrifice.
It's a scar. It doesn't matter if they succeed or fail, that's going to leave a mark on her.
It's total self-debasement for the mission. That collar is the ultimate symbol of bondage. And for Elayne to willingly put it on, it just shows you how deep their commitment runs.
It also makes what Nynaeve has to do even more intense. Nynaeve, the healer who rages against injustice, now has to play the part of the master. How does she even do that?
She doesn't just put on the clothes, she puts on the authority. The text describes her issuing this cold command to the captured Seda, and it inspires genuine terror. Nynaeve discovers that she can be a master, that she can wield these tools of tyranny and control with chilling effectiveness when she needs to.
And what's so fascinating is that Seda, the actual Sul'dam, is completely paralyzed by Nynaeve's command.
Right.
It tells you that Seda is more afraid of breaking the rules of her own system, disobeying someone who looks like a superior, than she is of the women who literally just overpowered her.
That's the critical insight Nynaeve gets in that moment. The Sul'dam are slaves, too. They're slaves to the hierarchy, to the rules of the Seanchan Empire. Their entire identity is built on absolute compliance.
So by playing that role, Nynaeve finds the lever. She can control them.
She weaponizes their own oppressive system against them. But like you said, the cost is already there. They've got what they need to get inside, but they're playing with fire. They're wearing identities that could easily corrupt them.
Okay, so while the women are neck-deep in psychological warfare and deception, the men are going for a much more direct approach. Speed. Brute force. It all comes to a head in Chapter 45, 5 will ride forth.
The energy just shifts completely, doesn't it? It's all about urgent pursuit. Perrin, Mat, and Heron are scouting near Falme, and they find signs of the Seanchan. But more importantly, Heron can smell Fane's trail.
That dark presence.
That unmistakable touch of the Dark One. The trail is hot. They know Fane, and by extension, the Horn and the Dagger are right there, inside the city.
But their first problem isn't Fane, it's the White Cloaks.
The Children of the Light. The third faction in this whole chaotic mess. And for our boys, getting caught by them is just as bad as getting caught by the Seanchan.
It would be a disaster. They'd be imprisoned, accused of being dark friends. It would end the mission right there.
So they have to run. They're forced into evasion, hiding in the hills. And it's a big tactical lesson for them, right? You don't have to fight every enemy you see.
Not when the stakes are this high.
The Horn and the Dagger are too important to risk getting bogged down in some ideological fight with the White Cloaks.
And this is where we see Perrin really coming into his own, isn't it? He's not just a scout anymore.
No, he's actively using his bond with the wolves. He reaches out to them, uses them as this sort of primal intelligence network to check on the White Cloaks, to make sure they're not being followed.
He's integrating that part of himself.
He is. He's not just afraid of his wolf brother nature anymore. He's using it as a vital, tactical tool to keep his friends alive. His instinct is now a core part of their strategy.
While that's happening, the book gives us this little glimpse into the mind of the White Cloak commander, Captain Bornhold. I feel like it's a moment that's easy to skip over, but it's so important.
Oh, it's absolutely critical. Bornhold's internal thoughts, as he's securing this village the Seanchan just tore through, it adds so much moral ambiguity to the White Cloaks.
He's not just a one-dimensional villain.
Not at all. He's thinking about mortality, about the psychological toll of this endless war. He sees the Seanchan as invaders, sure, but he also sees Rand's group as just as suspicious. Everyone is an enemy.
He's weary. You can feel the exhaustion in his thoughts. He's fighting against the Seanchan, against potential dark friends, and maybe even against his own crumbling sense of what's right and wrong in all this chaos.
It just highlights how fractured everyone is. Even the forces that think they represent the light are exhausted and just clinging to their ideology.
So back at the main camp, Rand is practically vibrating with impatience. He's ready to go.
He is. And when Heron gets back with the news, Fane is in the city, but so are the White Cloaks. Ingtar, the Shinaren commander, makes the call. They go in. Now,
it feels like a decision born of pure desperation and duty.
And maybe a little bit of guilt, considering what we learn about Ingtar later. But for now, he knows they have to get that horn. They have to save Mat. They've come too far to stop.
But taking a whole company of Shinarans into an occupied city, that's a suicide mission.
And that's where Vern Sedai steps in, with the cold, hard, tactical advice. Only 5 should go.
A small group.
A surgical strike team. It's the only way. A large group is a target. It guarantees a fight. A small group gives them a chance at speed and stealth. It's a complete reversal of how this whole expedition started.
And the 5 who are chosen, it's very deliberate.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You have the 3 boys, Rand, Mat, and Perrin, locked on this collision course with their destiny. You have Ingtar as the voice of duty, and you have Heron, the tracker, the only one who can actually lead them to their target.
The gravity of that decision is huge. They're committing to this incredibly dangerous in-and-out smash and grab.
And the urgency is just palpable, especially for Mat, right? Every second that passes, that dagger is doing more damage. For him, this risk is absolutely worth it. The time for waiting is over.
And that urgency just throws us straight into the action in Chapter 46. The 5 are in the city, and the stealth mission goes wrong almost immediately.
The whole atmosphere of Falme is just oppressive. You can feel it. They're navigating the streets, dodging Seanchan patrols, But the real game changer is the Grom.
Okay, we have to talk about the Grom. For anyone who's forgotten, what exactly are these things and why are they so terrifying?
The Groms are one of the Seanchan's exotic war beasts, brought over from their home continent. Think of them as unsettling, three-eyed, cat-like creatures. But they're incredibly silent, they can climb walls, and they are trained trackers.
So you can't just hide in an alley.
You can't. The Grom can see in the dark, they can smell you, they can track you with this almost supernatural skill. Their presence means that every single Seanchan patrol is 100 times more effective. The boys are never, ever safe.
But they follow Fane's trail to a house, and it's actually Mat's impatience, his desperation for the dagger that pushes them to find it.
And maybe it's the pattern, maybe it's just luck, but his impatience is rewarded. They find them. The Horn of Valere and the ruby-hilted dagger. Just like that.
Objective complete. The entire goal of the hunt achieved in a single moment.
A moment of pure triumph.
That lasts for all of 5 seconds.
Right, because their success is immediately shattered by the appearance of High Lord Turak, the Seanchan noble who lives there.
And evasion is off the table, Rand is trapped, he has to face him.
And Turak isn't just some politician. The text makes it very clear. He is a blade master.
So this is it. The moment Rand can't run away from his new identity, he can't be just a shepherd anymore.
He has to draw his Heron Mark sword and fight a master swordsman, or he dies, the mission fails, and everyone he loves is probably doomed. No pressure.
This duel is the real climax of the book for Rand, isn't it? It's more than just a fight. It's the moment his identity is forged in fire.
It's a seismic event for him. All through the book, even back in chapter 12, he's been insisting, I'm just a shepherd. He is terrified of the one power, terrified of the madness that comes with it, terrified of his destiny.
And yet, here he is, killing a blade master. How does that connect to his fear of channeling?
Because it forces him to accept the identity of a warrior, of a killer, no matter what he tells himself inside. The skill he shows isn't just luck. You can feel that internal mechanism he has, that cool piece of the void starting to take over.
Let's really dig into the void for a second, because it's such a powerful and frankly terrifying concept. What is it exactly, and why is it so significant that he's using it here?
The void is a mental technique. It's the ability to empty your mind of all emotion, all fear, all anger, all desire, and achieve this state of perfect detached calm that allows for absolute focus. Now, it's a critical tool for channeling said in the male half of the power, which is, of course, tainted and drives men mad.
So by using the void to fight, he's embracing the very mental state that allows him to touch the thing that terrifies him most.
Precisely. He's not just fighting Turak, he's fighting his own denial. He has to become this cold, clinical warrior to survive. And the victory violently cements that new identity.
And the sword itself, the heron-marked blade.
The symbol of his destiny. The heron brand on the sword, the heron brands on his own hands, they represent this path he's on. And now, by defeating a blade master with that sword, the symbol has become a physical reality. He is a blade master. His old life as a shepherd is gone. It's been overwritten by the brutal needs of his future.
There's that quote, "It is always better to choose than to be forced."
A man who's forced is never completely his own master. And Rand is being forced. And the price is his innocence.
And the moment he wins, that triumph is immediately tainted by this chilling moral fallout. The culture shock is instantaneous.
It is. Turak is dead, but it's the reaction of the two Seanchan servants that is so shocking. As soon as they see their master fall, the source says they just take their own lives.
It's incomprehensible to Rand and the others.
It shows how completely alien the Seanchan culture is. Their system of absolute servitude is so deeply ingrained that the death of their master literally renders their own lives meaningless.
So Rand has just won this honorable one-on-one duel, only to have it trigger these senseless suicides. It just highlights how crazed this foreign power really is.
His victory feels dirty now, and that moral shock gets piled on top of another realization.
Egwene.
He realizes Egwene is here. She's just steps away. His mission, get the horn, get the dagger, is technically done, but all he can think about is saving her.
And he's torn. Should he abandon these world-changing artifacts to try and rescue her?
But he doesn't have time to choose. The alarm has been raised, the whole compound is in chaos, and they have to escape. Now he can't get to Egwene.
So even in his greatest victory so far, it's immediately followed by a profound failure.
And that failure fuels him. The chapter ends with his silent vow to come back for her. In 1 hour, he's become a blade master, secured 2 of the most important items in the world, and completely failed to save his friend. He's growing into his power, but the personal cost is just immense.
So when you pull back and look at it, this whole section in Falme is this beautiful, or maybe horrible, summary of these two defiant missions happening at once.
Absolutely. They're like mirror images of each other. The women succeed through this really calculated psychological deception. Nynaeve has to master the language of her oppressor to get inside,
She inverts their own hierarchy to beat them.
while the men succeed through direct, violent confrontation. They take the horn and the dagger by force.
And in both cases, achieving their immediate goal doesn't mean they've actually won.
Not at all. That's the central tension of the whole book, isn't it? They have the tools now, the disguise, the artifacts, but Egwene is still a captive, and they are all trapped in a hostile city. Their escape is not guaranteed.
I think the biggest takeaway, the thing that's so chilling, is that to fight this tyranny, the characters have to become the things they hate.
Yes, Rand, the peaceful shepherd, has to master the sword. He has to embrace the cold emptiness of the void to become the killer he needs to be.
And Nynaeve, the healer, has to put on the uniform of a slave master and wield the very control she despises.
They have to get their hands dirty. They have to compromise their own moral identities for the greater good, and that's what's turning them into true heroes.
So Falme has brought everything together. The Horn of Valere is finally in the hands of the people who are supposed to have it, cementing their roles in this whole cosmic battle.
The whole world is now converging on this one port city.
The tension is just, it's unbearable. Rand has just killed a Seanchan High Lord. The White Cloaks, led by a vengeful Bornhold, are closing in from the land side, and the entire Seanchan army surrounds them from the sea.
The city is a trap, and the question isn't if they're going to fight anymore, it's who is going to lead that fight.
And that's really the thought we have to leave you with, right? The Horn of Valere is in play. It's ready to summon legendary heroes back from the grave to fight for the light.
So who is going to blow it?
Mm-hmm.
Who, when faced with these completely insurmountable odds, will finally decide that the time has come to sound that call? And what happens when the heroes of legend finally arrive to fight a war that our living characters have already compromised so much to survive?
Find out next time as the final, epic confrontation of the Great Hunt begins.